Hi, and welcome to lesson 17 about the power of choice. In the previous lesson we talked about motivation. More specifically, we talked about the need for long-term intrinsic motivation and about how it should correlate with your overall vision. I talked about how you need to be inspired and excited about your vision and how you can draw motivation from your vision. To be successful, you will need to be motivated at all times. It's easy to give up when things don't go right. Now you can draw on what we've talked about in previous lessons on motivation, goals and vision, but excitement alone is not enough to keep you going. In life, and especially in business, you will encounter difficult times, and your motivation will be attached to your emotions, and these always have ups and downs. You may encounter difficulties outside your business, or hit situations for which you're not prepared. You may have set out with conditions, and this is one of the worst errors ever made. For example, you might have said, I will work with my business until, now you can fill in your own blanks there, until I've spent X amount of money, until people tell me that I'm crazy, until my wife says I shouldn't be wasting my time on it. Often these conditions, they're not conscious, but nonetheless, they are there. The question is, what will you do when these things happen? Our industry is full of one-hit wonders who've made a few dollars and really don't understand how or why, and they sell others on the hype of their short-lived success, resulting in thousands of failures due to lack of knowledge and unrealistic expectations. Even worse, there are those selling hype who've not even had the one hit. What you need to find is someone who's consistently failed and used those failures as stepping stones to rise above the crowd and so consistently generate income from different sources. I've covered this in earlier lessons. The bottom line is you need to be committed to your vision, and this is a choice. Choice is what separates us from the rest of the animals on the planet. It's what allows us to be proactive rather than reactive. It allows us to control our destiny, and it's what's got us where we are now, and where we are now is a great place to be as long as we understand that we are where we chose to be. Even if you don't like where you are now, as long as you understand that you are in this place as a result of choices you've made, it allows hope to make different choices to get us where we want to be. One study on choice was done in New York and had 500 subjects, but I want to tell you about just 2 of them. Both were male and of the same age and came from the same neighborhood. One was a pillar of society, successful in business, a lay preacher, and a highly respected member of society praised for his honesty and good deeds. The other was a habitual petty criminal, a down and out, a drunkard, and a drug addict, regarded by society as a misfit and best off in prison, where in fact he spent most of his time. When they asked why they were what they'd become, they said, "What else could I be with my background?" Now they both came from broken homes where an alcoholic father and wife beater eventually left them, and they were raised by a hard-working mother who struggled just to put bread on the table. Even more remarkable is the fact that they were identical twins. The only thing that separated them in how they turned out was choice. And I could go on for weeks on choice and commitment, but I just want you to understand the importance of your choices leading to this day and the choices that you're going to make that are going to affect you from this day onwards. Commitment to your vision is essential, and commitment is doing what we said we would do long after the mood in which we said it has passed. I'm going to read that again, because in just those few words it summarizes exactly what commitment is and what it's not. Commitment is doing what we said we would do long after the mood in which we said it has passed. Fear stands in the way of most people's dreams. It's fed by doubt, and doubt is the devil's strongest weapon. He uses it to create a wedge in between us and our dreams. What could you accomplish? And what would you accomplish if you knew that you could not fail? Think about that for a moment. What would you try? What would you strive for if you knew that you could not fail? To have this certainty in life is difficult for many people because we've been conditioned through years of misunderstandings by well-meaning tutors and peers. It's not their fault because they suffer from the same misunderstandings. In a recent test on creative genius, there were 100 children under 3 years of age given creativity tests, and the results were astounding in that 97% were classified as genius and 2% as prodigies. When similar tests were given to 100 people in their early 20s, just under 3% were found to have creative genius. What happened in those 20 years is social conditioning. And to find true success, this must be overwritten as it affects every aspect of our lives. We have choice, but how do we acquire the creativity and confidence to make the choices that will be most beneficial to us? I know for a fact that if you try this on your own, most will fail. And that's why I've set up a program to overwrite the bad programming in your mind with healthy, beneficial and more natural options. This program is called Inner Courage and has weekly sessions where you learn to reprogram yourself for the success that you desire and eliminate subconscious barriers that stand in your way, while it'll help you improve your health and relaxation. This is something that I've done in the past with individuals who were struggling to break through personal barriers in sport, health, relationships, and most often with income and careers. And this is available by clicking the banner to the right that looks like the one in the video now. Let's move on to the main points. Motivation is tied to our emotions, and our emotions have peaks and valleys, highs and lows. So you have to have the strength, the fortitude and the commitment to overcome the lows. It's easy when we're in a high, but it's the lows that cause people to fail. So what will you do when the excitement is gone? You need to be there, you need to be committed, and you need to be prepared to just keep going at all times. You need to forget about all the hype that's out there. People will tell you, oh, it's easy, just do this. Look, if it was easy, everybody online would be making a fortune. I'm not saying it's hard. I'm just saying that people are not prepared to do the simple things that need doing that I'm going to be teaching you over and over and over again because they get involved in believing all the hype about how easy it is, push button systems, secret codes and all that nonsense. So you'll need commitment, and commitment is a choice, and choice is what has got you where you are now, and it's what will get you where you want to be. A chap called Dean McInnes wrote, "A vision grows from your soul, fed by commitment and passion. It can be articulated with descriptions of how things will be when the vision is achieved. If you cannot describe your life within the vision, it's only a dream of imagination. If you cannot find the passion and perseverance, perhaps all you have is a plan for a goal." Now, goals and plans are important. We've covered them earlier. We've covered vision, but they all need rolling into one, and they need that commitment to make them real. Passion comes easy for most of us entrepreneurial types, but commitment isn't always so easy. It's hard when you're in those hard times and you don't seem to be getting where you want to go. I want to just let you think about the commitment of a marriage. When two people get married, they make a commitment to one another, and they have this vision of a life together forever. It may include a beautiful home and children and bringing up children and holidays together as a family and growing together, getting old together. But what happens when the excitement of that initial attraction starts to wear off? So often there is a lack of commitment, and too many marriages end tragically in divorce. We need commitment to keep to that vision. And the biggest enemy of commitment is probably fear. And that's created from doubt. Can I? Can I do this? You shouldn't be asking, can I do this? You should be asking, why not me? Tips to help you commit to your vision are to feed your vision. Your vision is like a living thing, and it needs feeding. It needs inspiration. It needs that commitment. It needs to be brightened all the time. If it's getting hazy, brighten it up. Think about it. Concentrate on it. What was it there for in the first place? Why did you think about that? What created it? What generated it? Keep it fed and alive, and make it the right level of priority. If your vision is to have a successful business, it should be right up there towards the top. Probably not the top. Probably your family commitments and a commitment to a healthy lifestyle should perhaps be before your business. But it should be right up there on a par with most of other things and ahead of many other things. You also need to understand that you're going to need to make sacrifices. Some of them will be financial. I often get people who tell me, oh, I can't afford to get involved in this. I can't afford to buy traffic. I can't afford. And then the next thing I know is they're telling me they've bought a new television, or they've just booked a holiday, or something similar. Priorities. You need to make sacrifices for your business. Sometimes it won't be financial. Sometimes it'll be in time. You're going to have to say, oh, I know I'm tired. I've just finished work, but I've got to get 2 hours in on my business. I've got to do this. You've got to make sacrifices. There are times when, because I've set myself tasks that I want to be completed, I've worked straight through 24 hours to meet deadlines that I've set myself. You need to be prepared to do the things that others won't do in the short term, so that you can have the things that others don't have in the long term. And the best way to do that is to develop good habits. Unfortunately, good habits are not easy to develop. I've heard it said that if you repeat something for 21 days, it becomes a habit. That's not necessarily true, unfortunately. It's a good start, but bad habits, you'll find, are created very easily. But good habits, like getting up an extra hour earlier so that you can complete the things that you have to do before you go on to your day job or whatever it is, they take time. They take time to cultivate. And at first, they need that passion and drive and energy to make you do them. But eventually, if you do them long enough, then maybe they'll become those good habits, and you'll keep doing them as a habit rather than as a task that just has to be completed. Pick habits that you want to create, good habits. Work on them, and when it's become a habit, start on a new one. Keep developing good habits. You're going to have to be flexible as well, because sometimes the plans that we've laid out to get where we want to go, to reach our vision, are not working. Does it mean we give up? No, it means we have to assess them, find out what's going on. How could we do this better? What can be done? Our vision never changes, but our goals may need to change, and the plan to reach those goals may need to change. We need flexibility, but we need to keep the commitment. And no matter what happens, we've got to take steps forward. It doesn't matter if they're tiny steps. It doesn't matter if you think, oh, I can hardly feel like I'm moving forward. You must keep doing things that will move you forward no matter what. And I strongly recommend that you solidify your commitment in writing. There is plenty of documentation about people who have had visions of things that they need to achieve, and they've sat down, they've written them out almost as a contract and signed them. Do that yourself. Make that commitment to your vision. Make that commitment to your goals. Make that commitment to your income levels, the amount of time you're going to put in, how you're going to manage your time, what you're going to do, and sign it. There's a lot of power in writing that down and signing it, and keep it where you can see it. So just to recap, feed your vision. It's a living thing. Keep it alive. Make it the right level of priority. It should be right up there at number 1 or 2 or 3, depending on your situation. Be prepared to make sacrifices. Time, financial, leisure, whatever. Develop good habits. Work on them. Be flexible in how you are going to achieve your vision, but always keep moving forward no matter what, and solidify your commitment in writing. And that brings us to the action steps. So this is what I want you to do, these 3 things. Commit to your vision, write it down, sign it, and date it. List your priorities in order of importance, and make sure that your business is up there at the top, and anything that may be conflicting with it, is it really important? Is it going to get you where you want to go? Is it something that you can't bring down the order a little bit to get that business up as high as possible? And write down some habits that you'd like to develop, and choose one to start with, and just do it. As you commit to your vision, I know and I believe that you will be mentally prepared to begin the work of building your online business. And we are getting ever closer. The foundational portion of this learning series is almost complete. There's just one more important question I need to address in the next lesson before we start putting together the pieces of your business. As always, you're welcome to post your questions and comments below. Feel free to let me know if you've decided to commit to your vision. And until the next lesson, God be with you. God bless. And I look forward to being with you there.